So this is a 2015 Honda TRX500. It is a FA7 model. It's power steering, thumb shift, etc, etc. The 4x isn't working, so I found a couple problems with it. Probably a lot of people have this problem. There's a actuator on the front differential. Just do a real quick video. You see this little shaft here, and this just turns. It turns as the wheels are spinning or not. And the actuator is just an electric motor, and it just turns this shaft. As when you press the button, it'll go you know, a quarter way, and then when you put the diff lock on, it'll go another quarter turn, and that's the gist of how this works. And then when you flick the switch back off, it turns back to the position it was in. And so the actuator, all it does is turn that shaft in there, and I've got it taken off at the moment. It's unbelievable how they make these things. There's 4 bolts that hold the cover on. The cover just comes off. There's 3 bolts that hold it on. 1, 2, 3 bolts that mount it to the differential. So the way this works is there's a worm gear in here. There's an electric motor. When you hit the button, the motor turns the worm gear. The worm gear turns this shaft, this gear, and in behind there's a reduction gear, which in turn turns this gear. And you can see in the back there's like contact patches, and what I found was wrong with this one is these little fingers weren't engaging with the circuit board good enough. So when you would have this off, you would kind of fiddle with the button, then I noticed it would continue turning if you fiddled with it, so it wasn't making good contact. That was the first thing wrong with it. So if you're getting no 4x4, it's probably this piece of junk here. If you're hitting the button and you know you hear a whirring sound, that doesn't necessarily mean it was working, because it wouldn't cycle all the way in a full turn. It would stop halfway, and then when I had this open and this connected up to the machine, you'd fiddle with it and it would continue the rotation, but only after you fiddle with it, because it made the contact, because the fingers in the back weren't bending into the board. And then the other thing wrong with this, if you have no 4x4, there's a shaft here, and this goes back to the rear wheels, and you can see the shaft is totally stripped, so the splines are gone in there. So if you're having problems with your 4x4, you know, always check the button up there, you know, and it comes down, and there's an orange connector on the front. It's this one here. It comes down from the 4x engagement button, the red button, and then the switch, which is the 4x, the lock, differential lock. And so if your switch is good, and also check the relays, there's relays up here, and make sure they're all good. Swap them around. A lot of them are duplicates, so you can swap them around and see if that has any effect. That's a quick way to check. The chances are that maybe your shaft is stripped, or it's this little gear motor. So Honda TRX 500 2015 model. I'm sure they share common parts between quite a few of them in terms of using this actuator and in terms of using that shaft. So if you're not getting 4x4, do check those things. Hope that helps.